Hi guys, and welcome to my kitchen, though this particular vlog is not about food. Do pardon the lighting, it is not the best in here, but it is the best I have. Anyhow, a rather serious topic on the heels of an apparent suicide in Bratislava of a young actress who apparently was doing really well, newly married, etc., etc. I'm sorry to hear that she has decided to transition. However, in my dear friend telling me about this yesterday, the conversation led to how do people kind of get there and to that stage where they decide to leave, and how can we talk to our children, and how can we prevent such things from happening? And I'm gonna keep this short. Hang on a second, let's turn down the sweet potatoes. Thank you. There. While having that conversation, it led me right back to last week, where I was working with young people close to Linz. And I had a bunch of students. One of the classes was not so very cohesive, not bad, but just a whole bunch of different characters, lots of energies, and there was a child in particular who he was all over the place, and I just asked him to leave, just to go sit outside. So eventually I went back out to have a conversation with him, and this does tie back into what I started with, and that was the young lady taking her life. But I went outside to chat with this kid, and I said to him, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do with you when I'm trying to run a class. I recognize, I understand, and I accept that you're different, and you need to talk, and you need to express yourself, and I get it, and all that it's okay, it's not wrong. I'm sorry, this is the way that it is, and whatever, it is the way that it is. So I started asking him questions, and one of them was, it just kind of popped out of my mouth. I asked him if he liked himself. Now we're talking about a child in the 3rd grade, so he's 13-ish, 12 or 13. I asked him if he liked himself, and he said no, which really struck me in the heart. I don't ask that question enough, and the last time I did, it was a few months ago while I was working in a different school, it always is, and it was a group of students, a little bit older, I think they were 14, and we were playing a game, and it's called Everybody Who likes to eat bananas, everybody who blah, 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 whatever. One of the kids posed a question, same one, everybody who likes themselves has to get up and move into a different chair. And 2 kids got up, which again struck me in the heart. The game stopped in an instant, and I started to ask questions. I don't like myself because of my body. I don't like myself because of this and that, blah, 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 whatever, you get it. So with this child last week, why don't you like yourself? Because I'm too loud, because I talk too much. And I said to him right then and there, I said, it's not because of me. Don't let me, I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're bad. I just don't know what to do. And that's why we're out here. It's okay that you're loud, and it's okay. You are perfect the way that you are. So what was really interesting was then we went back into class, and he didn't want to participate in the game. And I went up to him. He just sat outside, and he wanted to just watch. And I said, listen, you're not punishing yourself, are you? You don't, like, you can play. And he said, I know, I just want to watch. And there's much more to this conversation, which I won't get into right now because there's so many offshoots of this. But what I said to my friend when she asked about, like, how do we get to a stage where we can even contemplate ending our lives, our beingness? And not that this is the grand answer, but this was the first thing that came to me, and that was that, like, we're just not conscious from a very young age. That consciousness is switched off. It's pressed out of us. It's taken away from us. And this is my experience and why I work with young people, because I want them to wake up to themselves. And I see that they're not. They're already glued to their phones. They're already so indoctrinated. And there's very few children who I've worked with who are very much aware and conscious. I finish with this last example, and perhaps it's not the best one. I'm going to say it because it comes to mind, and it was of a 9-year-old girl a few weeks ago. Perfect English. I asked her why, and she says, well, it's like, you know, I have an iPad and I like to use my iPad and see different things and whatever. Like, her English was spot on. We exchange music. She sends me one of her favorite songs. I'm not going to say who the artist was, and not even the name of the song, but it was, the blood was in the name of the song. I listened to it. It was confusing because it was a message of a young person sort of rebelling against the system. But there was confusion in me because it was dark. It was really, it was so thick. And I think when messages of light are put out there that want to uplift and support people's growth and empowerment and expansion, that there's no question about it. There's no question of like, oh man, like where is this coming from? And actually, this is kind of dark. So I asked the girl the next day, I'm like, sweetheart, what did you like about that music? What do you like about it? And she said, it's really dark. I like dark. And this is a kid who gets picked on. I noticed this right away. She gets picked on. She's got dark circles under her eyes, frizzy hair. Now, these are the kids I tend to focus on more because they're the ones that get left behind by everybody. And that's the bit, they're the ones that, they're the rebels, which I recognize because that was me. And I've talked about my own suicidal story in my TED speech here in Bratislava, and went down that path and blah blah blah, whatever. But anyways, look, I'm diverging, and we come back to, we finish the circle about like how we get to a stage where one is able to even contemplate, you know, ending it all. And that's kind of because we're not switched on to our true selves. So this is something that, this is why I work with young people, because I want them to shine. I want them to know who they really are, and not with the school system or any system for that matter, not just school, but what any system projects to them. There's so much more to this conversation, and I look forward to you and I really getting into this a lot more. So for now, I end it. I welcome your comments, conversations, whatever, because I think we need to open up this box. So in that, I end, and I wish you a wonderful, peaceful, and even an extraordinary day. Lots of love, and thank you for tuning in. Bye for now.